Hello friends, this is Durga from ITversity. As part of this video, I will show you how to complete the sign up process without any issues. Okay, and if you go to labs.itversity.com um, uh, and if you try to log in, there are different ways of logging into the labs. You can see here, you can log in either using Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also you can log in using your local email ID and password. Here you have to give the email ID and password, and you can log in using local email ID password also. But to log in using local email ID password, either you need to sign up, or we have to give the access to your email ID. And again, whatever email ID to which we gave the access, if you have Google account, you can sign up with Google also, and you will be able to use the password and all. That being said, for all those who signed up for the course by paying for this Big Data Developer Certifications Workshop 2017-11, you will get an email, and you have to complete the sign up process from there if you don't have active account already with us. If you have account already with us, it's a bit different. We'll support you and get it fixed. But let us assume that you don't have any valid account with us. How you should actually uh, sign up for the lab. So that being said, here I'm logging in as admin to the lab so that I show you how we typically send send the sign up email for you. So what we do is we have this for admins we have this tab called users. For regular users you will not be seeing this, and here we can actually choose batch and then give the email ID to which we want to give the access to. Okay, here I'm giving up to February 8th to this user called dgajraju@itversity.in, who is the user like you. So users were added successfully. Now let me log into my Windows machine, and here I would highly recommend you to use either Chrome or Firefox on Windows to access the lab. So I'm launching Chrome, and I'm logging into my Gmail account, which is nothing but dgajraju@itversity.in, and I will get the email to this training, and you can see there is the email from ITversity Labs to complete the sign up process. So you need to click on here. Okay, and here you can see that pop-up is blocked. So make sure you allow the pop-up and then hit done. And once that is done, just close it and click on this once again. Okay, now you can reset the password. I'm giving the password here. So this will take care of local logging in. So it will give you the local login. You don't need to log in through Gmail. Okay, so that being said, now your setup process is done. You should have access to the lab. You just have to again go to labs.itversity.com and now click on sign in and give the user ID at itversity.in and the password, and then click on login. Now you can see it gave this page where you have the username. Okay, so let me change the username to 2017-11. Okay, and then create user. So I'm creating user for me. So what will happen is when you click on this create user, now the user will be created on something called gateway node, and you will get the credentials once the setup is done. Now you got the credentials. This is the username, this is the password, and host name is gw01.itversity.com, which I will show in a moment. Before going further, you see I got the email, I complete the sign up process, and that will create the local login. Now if you want to create a social login for the same account, you can do that also. As long as the email ID is same, which is dgazraju@itversity.in. Now I can either log in using Google login or Facebook login or LinkedIn login plus the local login. Okay, I have the username and password here also. I can click on this and also log into the lab. Now sometimes if you only have local login, if you don't have any of the other social logins for the lab, you will be forgetting the password. And if you forget the password, you have to click on forget password reset here and give the email. And if you don't have local login, it will complain saying that it is only available for those who have local login. Here I have local login plus social login. That's why it went through without any issues. And again, I will get an email from the labs saying to reset password. So click on this if you want to reset the password, and then if you want, you can change the password here. And say reset. Okay, now the reset is also done. Now again, you can go to labs.itversity.com. So I have both Google login as well as local login. Here local login password is changed. So I'm using new password now, and now I am able to log in again with local login. Okay, so this is how you can sign up and reset whatever you want to do to this page. And this page is just a entry point to get the credentials to make the payments and get the users created, and then on day to day until the subscription ends, you can get the credentials to log into the cluster. Okay, that being said, once you have this, what you can do is you can use these details to connect to the lab either by using PuTTY or Cygwin. And if you have to copy the files to the lab, you can use either WinSCP or SCP in Cygwin. Okay, so now let me try to use Cygwin on Windows. This is how I will be demonstrating on Windows machine. Here the username is dgazraju201711. That you can get from here. So we will be adding copy to this also as part of our major release, as part of our next major release. For now, you just have to type the username and then copy the password, and host name to which you will be connecting will be gw01.itversity.com to begin with. And paste and hit enter. Okay, now you are in the lab from the Cygwin. You can also access lab using Open Console. Okay, and now to make it a bit more convenient, I have shown you how to set up Cygwin, how to set up SSH, etc. earlier. So make sure you have ran the SSH keygen to generate public and private keys that you can validate by running command ls-altr. You should see .ssh directory with permissions read, write, execute only to the owner, and all rest of the stuff should be dashes like this. And also you can actually confirm whether you have public and private key or not by running ls-altr.ssh. You should see these two files, id_rsa, id_rsa.pub, and id_rsa also. The owner should have only read write permission, and others should be empty like this. Once that is done, once everything looks good, both .ssh have permissions exactly like this, and id underscore rsa have permissions like this, and id underscore rsa dot pub, something like this. Now you can run this command called ssh copy id. Okay, and what is our username? dgazraju201711 at gw01.itversity.com. And you have to paste the password. Okay, now as I have copied the required key from the public file from this one, the public key will be copied to the authorized keys for this user for this host ID host. Okay, now I can say I can just copy this command and paste it and hit enter. Now you are in the lab without even pasting the password. So it is a bit convenient way, but this is not showstopper for you. If for some reason if such copy ID doesn't work, that is fine, as long as you can copy paste the password and log into the lab. Okay, so once you are in the lab, you will be able to run HDFS commands, something like this. User. So every one of you, whoever have the lab access, will get a directory like this in HDFS. Okay. And you can launch. So as of now, the directory doesn't have any files. That's why it returned empty. You can launch PySpark, or if you are planning to explore the lab using Scala, also you can use Spark Shell. And anytime you use PySpark, make sure you launch like this, and it has to be exact values. PySpark -- master yarn -- conf spark UI.port, and then a 5-digit port number between 10,000 and 65,535. Don't worry too much about why you have to do this. I will explain when we actually explore Spark. But for now, just run this and validate that you are able to launch PySpark without any issues. So now the PySpark is launching. And you are good to go. There are no issues at all. And we will explore these things later. Also, this have Python. So if you just want to learn Python, you just type Python and hit enter, and you can start writing code from here. But as I have demonstrated as part of the third video in the kickoff sessions, make sure you set up Python on your PC and also PyCharm on your PC. We'll be using PyCharm to actually develop a lot of the code, not Python console like this, but you should be familiar with Python, PySpark also, especially from the certification perspective. From job perspective, for writing the code perspective as part of the project, you don't need to struggle a lot with the command line utilities like Python or PySpark. You should develop using PyCharm, and then you should know how to deploy on the cluster. And I will show those things also as part of the course. If you are serious about the certification, make sure you practice quite a bit using command line utilities like this. Okay, so this is how you should be able to access the lab. On top of gw01.itversity.com, we will grant you access to gw02.itversity.com also, so that you, as privileged users, as you have paid, if there's any issues on gw01.itversity.com, you will have backup. You can log into this, and you should be able to proceed with your work. On so the setup process is not done yet. We will take care of it within next week, and you will have two environments by the time you get into the Spark. Okay. On and also I will actually give you few tips to troubleshoot in case of any issue. Sometimes when you log in, when you try to run, it will complain that it cannot create a process because of out of memory and all. You just run this command called free minus h, which will give the free memory as of now. As of now, there is only 1.3 GB memory free. Rest of this memory is not free. So most likely you might end up in out of memory issues. So you should be able to troubleshoot this, and you should be able to bring to our notice that we are running out of memory or something like that. So try to get familiar with the Linux environment as much as possible. I have covered Linux essentials earlier. You can get some of the information using those commands, and if you actually do this additional step, we will save a lot of time from all the sides. Okay. That being said, free minus h showed me that 27 GB out of 32 GB is currently in use. So what you can do, if you have access to the second node, you can log into the second node and you can start using it. You don't need to worry that memory is out. On top of it, you will also get access to something called Ambari. gw01.itworks.com 8080 is the port number, and here we have to give the username, which is dgazraju201711, and then the password I copied from there and pasted here. So with the same credentials, you will get access to this web application also. Earlier we have logged into the operating system. Here we are trying to access web application like Gmail. So you can also see the health status of the cluster from here. So sometimes if there is anything going slow, you can check whether it is proper or not, and we can take it from there. So this is how you can use the information to raise the issue with more appropriate information, and it will be easier for us to fix those issues rather than just sending some generic errors. You should do some diligence from your side also, so that you will also learn how to troubleshoot the issues, and it will save our time also. And this is how we have to work in the projects as well. We should never raise the exception immediately. We have to do at least some diligence. In that way we will learn something, and also the communication between the support team and the development team will be much better if developers can actually go a step up and try to figure out where the issue could be, understanding the environment. Okay, so that being said, I hope you should be able to log into the lab without any issues. If you still have any issues, you can go to discuss.itversity.com. Don't send emails directly to us. Just go to discuss.itversity.com, and all of you should have access to this category called Big Data Certifications 2017-11. You just come here and make sure you sign up for this. Only then you will be able to access, otherwise you will not be. So for example, in this case, let me sign up using my Gmail account, which is dgadraju@itworks.in. And this user called dgadraju doesn't have, is not added. Oh, he should not be able to get the permissions to access these topics, or to create the topic. Let me see. Testing. Yeah, it is letting me to create the topic. I will fix it. Okay, I already have the account. That's why, and this user is added to the group who have access to this. So this is how you can actually raise the topic. If you don't have access to this, it might fail. Then what you have to do, you have to notify us that my ID who have I have paid subscription for the course Big Data Certifications Workshop, and still I'm not able to access the category here to raise the topics. We will add you to the group, and you will be able to create topics like this. And if you create topic like this, what will happen is, I will show you what will happen on our side. We will get an email to this um, uh, support. Okay, and here, okay, let me see, unassigned. For some reason it didn't come, but it should come. We should get email like to here, and we will take care of the issues. See here, someone actually raised earlier. Yeah, this guy has 23711 Sumit. He actually raised the issue, and we got the email. So what will happen? We can assign it to a user. For example, in this case, there is assign to option for us, and you will not be having access to this, but I am just showing how we will be supporting you so that you have some clarity. And we have this technical support team. This is a technical issue, so we will assign it to technical support team. So Balu is the lead from our technical support team, and most likely we'll be assigning it to him, or he will take ownership for this and he will assign it to other folks in the team, and they will take care of it. If it is a non Big Data Labs issue, uh, we will assign it to someone else. We will assign it to some developers. So Sunil Abhishek is one developer, Kaushik is another developer, I am one another developer, and we know that is another guy who is both DevOps as well as developer. So we will take ownership of that issue, and we will try to get it resolved as quickly as possible. This is how the support works. So make sure you understand about the discuss.itversity.com, and um, and start raising the issues here rather than sending the emails. If you send the email, then it will go to one person, and we will not be able to track those things or assign it to appropriate person. Okay, so make sure you raise the topic by going to discuss.itversity.com. So here, if you understand our platform correctly, we have a YouTube channel where the videos will be streamed. We have labs where you will be practicing. We have discuss.itversity.com where we have forums. Unfortunately, these three things are not properly integrated yet. We will take care of it very soon, and you don't need to move on to different areas in the future, probably in another 6 months to 9 months. And but for now, these three different platforms. You have to subscribe to our channel to YouTube, and then start watching the videos which will be streamed. Second, if you have to practice, you have to go to labs.itversity.com and practice. If you have any issues, you have to log into discuss.itversity.com and log the issue. Okay. So that being said, I hope it is a bit clear and you will be able to use the platform a bit better. And I will send you the link after uploading this video to YouTube. And if you have any issues, just raise it on discuss.itversity.com by choosing appropriate group. Don't just create the topic without assigning to any group. The group has to be Big Data Certifications Workshop 2017-11, and its parent group is Live Workshops.